What the hell going on?
Oh, we heard tale of a party.
Excited to talk about this movie, guys. It's my favorite film I've seen all year so far. The magic of music and vampire lore and a Ryan Coogler film all fused into one, made for quite a special recipe. I want to talk specifically about all of your relationships with the composer of this film, Ludwig Göransson. I know you guys were in the booth for some of these songs. You're singing on set. Post-production's a huge element to the music. I would love to all know just your creative collaboration you had with Ludwig. Jack, we can start with you.
Yeah, listen, it was a real treat. I think Ludwig's like a sort of real master at what he does, and so what he had at his disposal, it was so expert that I don't have a lot of experience in recording music, so I was living my sort of best Beyonce live for a good number of weeks. But by the end, I really got into it and started believing that I was a recording artist. My bubble was burst. It's extremely. Well, you do it for real, don't you, Miles? Like, how did it compare to what you're used to?
Oh man, first of all, Ludwig, he's a genius, man. Prior to filming, I got in connect with them, and I actually learned how to play guitar for this project, resonator guitar. So I had a guitar teacher kind of teach me like the fundamentals of the blues and stuff. So they started to send over music, and then once we got to New Orleans and started filming, I met them at a studio. It was a great space, and that's where he kind of talked to me about the plan that he had for the music and for my character.
Mm-hmm. And Delroy, anything else to add?
Piggybacking on what Jack said, Ludwig and Serena bring such a wealth of experience. So there's this huge, the magnitude of what they do and how they do it, and their relationship with Ryan. So they bring all of that into the room. And that informed, just in terms of what how I was working with them, that informed everything that we did. I started working with them. I was working on another project. I met them in Los Angeles. And from the beginning, there was a clarity. I mean, when I say clarity, a clarity and an intentionality about how we were going to go about doing this work. And it became real immersive.
Very much so. Miles, you have such a unique story of getting to this film. I was reading that Her had a role in guiding you to this audition. Could you share that story?
Yeah, so I've been touring with her since I was 16 years old. And towards the end of the tour, she called me and she said that, there was a role, somebody in the crowd had seen me perform, and she said, I think you should audition for it. And this was my first time really, acting. I did like a self-tape. And so I didn't expect much. I didn't know really how it was gonna turn out. And once I found out that, it would be Ryan Coogler, Michael B. Jordan, I was like, oh man.
And who else, man?
For the stars. And Delroy Lindo, man, the legend.
My God.
The legend. But no, I didn't find all of that stuff out until later.
Yeah.
So then to find out, this incredible cast, I was truly blown away. And so, yeah, that was incredible. So every day was a learning experience for me, and just getting to see these guys work up close was incredible.
Yeah, I love it. Jack, I'm obsessed with the character of Remick. Like I said, I'm Irish, so getting to hear some authentic Irish music in this film was awesome.
Do you relate to Remick?
I don't want to say I relate to him. I think I'm fascinated by his motives, and that's kind of what I wanted to ask you.
I can see that.
Whoa, I don't know. I don't got the fangs. We're not in sunlight right now, so who knows. But Remick specifically, I was reading that there's a lot of lore behind him, right? Like there's almost an implication that he's been around for centuries. How did you go about filling in that lore and kind of getting into his headspace? And then do you think he operates with any type of real motives, or is he just an agent of chaos?
I think, no, I think he does. I think he's very conniving, very premeditated, and a sort of master of disguise, because he does operate in plain sight. And he kind of totally infiltrates the story, really, with this like vampiric element. But chatting to Ryan about it, there was a real intellectual depth to what he was telling me his Remick was to bring, and that is the sort of the ancient tradition, which blues music is rooted in. and also this influence of Irish folk stuff too, and the theory that a lot of cultures were mixing together in the American South. So I flipped over that whole thesis, and gave me some real solid ground to feel like I was on with this absolute mental character.
Yeah, the culture's mixing. I won't spoil it, but that one scene, the one shot when you're playing your first song in Club Juke, oh my God, like, I'm excited to see that one again in IMAX for sure. Delroy, I also heard that when you got the first draft of the script from Ryan, you had some feedback on the back half, and you two kind of had a back and forth. What were those conversations like, and what do you feel like you ended up changing for the film?
What I appreciated was that it was just really collaborative from the beginning. Ryan was very open to the notes, the responses, the questions that I had for him, and he committed to working on the things that I brought to his attention, and he did. He was as good as his word. It was just very collaborative, and that was really affirming, all the way around.
Yeah, it's great when the performers inform the story. I feel like it makes it for...
It was a genuine back and forth.
Yeah.
And the thing that you're talking about in terms of the mixing of cultures, Ryan had a really, this impressed me, he had a real particular grasp of history, musical history, and how those components would inform this narrative. And that was like he knew what he was talking about. And it for me, it bred a certain kind of confidence in terms of getting on this journey with him and being part of telling the story.
Yeah, very beautifully said. I feel like hearing these conversations, I'm going to watch it the second time and have a whole different perspective. I'll wrap with this, guys. There's a luring aspect to the music that gets played at Club Juke, and that's how our story kind of kicks off and getting our vampires there. Is there a song, one particular song, if you're walking down the street, you hear it coming from a bar, you're like, I got to go in and hear that live?
I mean, listen, it's topical, but yeah, if I hear genuine traditional Irish stuff, like I'm automatic, I'm there like a moth to a light,
I love it. Delroy, Miles?
Man, probably some Donny Hathaway, some Stevie Wonder for sure.
Ooh, okay.
Fire, yeah.
Good stuff. Delroy?
I listen to a lot of Delta blues, a lot of those masters, and any of that music, I would respond to more keenly based on my experience doing this film.
Wow, much better answers than me. I was going to say like 2010's Lady Gaga, a little bit of Kesha. I'm on a girly pop kick right now.
Not to be sniffed at, man. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
The places that play the old hits, they're fun to be in. Guys, for real though, this film absolutely rocks. You should all be very proud.
Man.
Cheers, Liam. Nice.
God bless.
Stay. It's you?
Of course it's me. Open the door.
That ain't your brother.